Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
Man, it's your boy Bone. I'm over here on the Donnie Houston podcast. Salute to Donnie. Appreciate you for having me, bro.
Yeah, man, it's going down this Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. First of all, you are not watching no split screen shit. I'm not interviewing myself today. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, today's guest is a special guest, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get us mixed up all the time, man. But listen, this man been around holding it down way longer than me, doing legendary shit way longer than me, putting it down these H-Town streets way longer than me, man. You know what I'm saying? Working through rap a lot, working with Zero on the road, working with Bun, you know what I'm saying? Managing the late Chucky Trill, you know what I'm saying? Being a part of the 2 Trill show on Sirius XM, man, and so much more. OG Bone, what's going down, man?
Man, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be sitting across from you like this, man, doing this interview. I'm good.
I appreciate you being here, bro. You know, we chop it up off camera, but you're not really an on camera type of guy, man. So to have you here, you know, on here like this, man, you know, I appreciate it.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. I respect you even hitting me up about it, though. You know, giving me opportunity to, you know, talk on your show. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. Nah, I was saying I wasn't interviewing myself because that shit be funny. I remember the first time you hit me with the twin thing. I was like, man, somebody thought you was me, because people didn't hit me and be like, hey, man, you OG Bone? Or, you know what I'm saying? To walk up to me and say Bone and then look and be like, oh, nah, man, you know who? Well, yeah, I know, bro.
I had it too. Yeah, we you know, that's I think that's a little name that we done acquired with each other, twin, you know. But it's all good. You know, I respect you 100%, man. Yeah, been watching your growth, you know.
Nah, for sure. Well, man, what you got going on these days, man? They got the 2 Trill show.
A little bit of a lot of shit. You know, we got the 2 Trill show on Sirius XM, channel 43, Rock the Bells. That's a big opportunity, Bun. Open the door for us, man. Going over there recording, just making up some shit between us, and it's, you know, becoming a big platform for Bun, you know. So yeah, that's a good thing. I got, you know, I'm a part of the 2 Trill show. But the biggest thing I think everybody is waiting for is this Trill Burgers restaurant.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, the Trill Burgers restaurant. It's about to be open. It's looking good. I don't know if you've been over there.
I hadn't been over there yet.
Burgers still slapping. Yeah. I eat the vegan ones.
Is the vegan like the
you can't tell the difference.
Can't tell.
I've had both of them, but after I had the heart attack, I can't eat red meat. So I've been on the vegan thing, and you cannot tell the difference, man. Yeah. I eat vegan burgers outside of the Trill Burger thing. Tastes like beans.
Yeah, and that's the thing with me and vegan burgers. It's usually like I know I'm eating a vegan burger.
Yeah, nah, you don't know. It's a good. They created something. I haven't eaten something that tasted not like a vegan burger. Like you say, it's always gonna taste the same, you know. But yeah, that I know Rico, Scarface manager. He got a Trill burger. He asked for a vegan burger. He got it. It was sent to him. He was on the road. It was sent to his room or something. And when he ate it, he got scared because he haven't eaten beef in like 20 years or something. And he was like, God damn, man, I told you I wanted a vegan burger. That's a vegan burger. And he was surprised. So yeah, it's a bad motherfucker, man.
Man, what is it? Any potential date on when it's opening? I know we just kind of like we getting a coming soon type thing.
Soft opening. I think they getting it ready this week, but it's real soon. I don't want to give away no dates until they firm, but I know everybody's waiting for it. Promoters that book shows for Bun now, they're all asking about. Say, man, can he bring a Trill burger? Can he bring something in his backpack? Can he, you know, set up shop out here? You know, but that just let us know that's a big thing everybody's expecting.
Yeah, nah, Bun is going into a whole nother stratosphere with this thing, bro. Like, next level shit, man.
Next level, man.
Man, so, okay, I know you from around the way, music, all this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, we gonna do it. Let's go on here and run up and through that, man. Tell me, you know, coming up north side, what part and just how life was, you know, growing up.
I'm from 5th Ward, Texas. I'm from the old Fifth Ward, uh, the Bloody Nickel.
Is this Jensen and all that over there?
I lived on Buck Street by Finnegan Park, a couple
Mm.
apartments. So that side of Fifth Ward is kind of like broken up to little sections, but uh, I came up under when that it was just a bad area, you
Yeah,
know.
Fifth Ward is one of the most notorious hoods, not even in the city, in America, I think. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And but it taught me a lot, man. I can't lie.
This is you coming up and you seeing like crack era start to come and you seeing all that shit going
Right.
on.
Crack era. Like right now, I be wondering where the guns at in the city. Back then, you can go right down the street, or a dope fiend gonna bring you a gun every day. It was just so open. It was a lot of different, you know, a lot of different street shit happening in the world back then. But with the crack era that came about, jumping into that,
Did you what kind of parents you had? Were they kind of like strict on you? Or they you kind of had an opportunity to kind of wand off and get into shit.
So I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay.
Uh, she took good care of me.
What about your what about parents like mom and dad? What's your
Mom
relationship?
and dad? My mama's still alive. My dad passed, but my mama, she allowed my grandmother to raise me, and I think she put me in a good environment with my granny. I'm saying granny, but my grandmother. She put me in good hands with her. She raised me good. It was just me having the moments to get around people that gave me something more, than the house shit, the bullshit. It was the street shit. It was exciting. It was like, damn. First time I ever seen um, a real bankroll was my cousin. And me and him grew up together. And I went over my grandmother's house, and he just, hey man, check this out. I'm like, how the fuck you get all that bread, nigga?
How old are y'all at this time?
It was like 15. And he told me, he was like, man, one of our homeboys got a plug, Puerto Rican, was giving him a bunch of work, and he just needed somebody to, help him work it. So, boom, okay, well, let me go holler at him. I got the game right there on that. Just, having a dope spot, and it's booming, and you making money every weekend, and, that shit is exciting to a young nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, we had the moments, man. I think I just went that direction, just went the streets, instead of me. And I used to tell myself, I'm not gonna keep asking my mama for money. I'm not gonna keep asking my grandmother for money. I'm at some point, I'm gonna be able to give them something. And this is at 15 years old, so it wasn't about going work and get no money like that after I done seen this side. So I went that direction.
So 15, you jump in the game.
Yeah, 15, I jumped into that part of the game. Yep.
So all through high school, you just hustling, whoop to whoop. You know what I'm saying? And you said you was going to Barber Jordan. You didn't go to Wheatley.
I ain't go to Wheatley.
Yeah.
My grandmother and my mama agreed for me not to go to Wheatley because all of my homeboys went to Wheatley and they was getting kicked out, going to jail on campus, all that shit. I remember one morning, my grandmother was taking me to school one morning, and when we walked outside on the porch, I seen my homeboys running down the street. I'm like, hey man, where y'all going? And then the police coming right behind them. So, yeah, she put me in a better environment, They made the right choices for me. All the shit that I got involved with was just my own decision. It wasn't like they missed on raising me wrong or not whooping my ass, not disciplining me. And, they was on point with me. My mama, my daddy, my grandmother. I had my family was, real supportive. It was just us being in the ward, man.
Yeah.
So
Your environment.
We get out the house, it's a whole different person, man. It's, so yeah.
Yeah. So okay, graduate high school. Now we 18. But when do you start switching your hustles? Like when do you start getting introduced to other things? Because That's how the streets is like. It's
Yeah,
like like the weed world, the drug world. Like once you in, now you get the introductions to other things. You know
man.
what I'm
Listen,
saying?
I think that's something in Fifth Ward, and I know in all the ghettos, you trying to find the next move, and you find the next move because it's word of mouth. He doing this, and this is what's popping over here, man. And so I just did that. I didn't go to job world. I
That was
went.
never a thought. Never. Well, after
I,
you seen
I
that bread,
I got in trouble, and then I got me a job. To try to square up. But yeah, it was just what's the next move. So I started doing the selling the dope, and the dope game was not my thing though. It was like too many niggas getting 30 years for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So what else can I do? Let me try this weed game. I smoke weed. I know all the niggas that smoke weed too, so let me try that. So I hit me up, made me a couple of moves, got me some bread, and started selling weed. And then I accepted that title for real of being the weed man in Fifth Ward and known for that. You know what I'm
so
saying?
you had it sold up with the weed at that time.
Yeah, I had sold up Pax Fat. That was them little yellow envelopes,
Hmm.
vanilla envelope. Yeah, that motherfucker gonna be packed. So, and everybody knew me as York in Fifth Ward. It wasn't Bone, and I hated that shit. Like they would call me my whole name, man. Eric York. God damn. So the Bone thing came about a little later, but yeah, man. I was just, I kind of accepted that, just being a weed man. It's not a bunch of time in it. It's not a bunch of, niggas trying to rob you for the weed shit. So yeah, I got me a few weed houses, and that was my main thing.
Hmm. But then I mean, shit, you had seen me that you sent me a video one time, man, and I looked at the video and I was like, oh, okay, all right. But then I looked at it again, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? This Bone. And y'all was sitting there getting pulled out the woods and all this old shit. And
Yeah,
that's when I was like, wait a minute, what did bro have going on back then? Because this ain't no small time shit.
yeah. So I got another part of the hustle in Fifth Ward is robbing, getting it, and we call it jugging. So we would go, get money that way, you know, uh, check cash in places. And
How much money is in a check cash and lick?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm good at that shit.
Hmm.
I'm good at spotting the bag and knowing what's proximately in that motherfucker. So we was like hitting 20, 50, 75 was like the most cash money that I've ever got, from doing that shit. But I wasn't no nigga that was gonna get every week and every day trying to, because I know you're gonna get jammed up eventually. So I would just, make my moves count, you know. Um, so that was another thing. Jugging and the jury thing came about too. So what happened was I started. I don't know if you ever heard of Rolex bandits.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, that was that era with me. We would go hit the Rolex licks, and the OG that was getting money, he pulled me over one day, and like say, man, I hear you, making some moves on them watches and shit. I'm gonna show you how to get some money without taking that type of chance and getting cash money. So he showed me the jugging thing, and I went that direction. So it was just juggling whatever hustle it was out there that was good. I wasn't doing no dummy shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything I was doing, I was making that shit count.
Yeah. But then that particular when y'all get caught up in this thing, this is what it eventually sends you. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying, to the
yeah,
pen and
it's
shit.
part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of it. But at that time, I was telling somebody the other day, you gotta have that. I don't give a fuck that shit type of attitude when you're doing that shit because you taking a chance, man. You taking a chance every time you doing that shit, and up until the point of me doing whatever it was. I gotta psych myself up to do that shit. Like, if I tell some of the stories, bro,
Go ahead. That's what we
some
here
of the
for.
shit,
Go ahead.
like it'll be mind blowing. It'll be mind blowing. You ask me what you want to ask me. I'll tell you.
Nah, okay. When you said if I tell some of the stories, what comes to mind when you say that?
Just some of the shit we done did, man.
Hmm.
Like, we did a lot of shit, man.
Because I mean, you talking about this is wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's some of the wildest times you
So
was like,
I can tell you the story
of that time?
that particular
Okay.
video.
Tell me this. The day, what was the? Had y'all already gotten away with jewelry stores and shit at that
Yeah,
time?
that was out there.
It was
That was
already
out-
hitting the licks.
Yeah.
So y'all go to this one, and in that day, is any mind? Because sometimes I talk to people and they go down, they like, man, that whole day was messed up.
Oh,
I had
they
a
was
bad
messed
feeling. I felt whatever,
Oh,
whatever,
they
and
was-
niggas steady just say fuck all that shit.
That's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. So the story goes like this, man. We need to find this weed up. So we went to the Crawfish Festival. Man, I had a good solid little crew, man. We everybody having money.
How many of y'all listen?
It was like 7 of us, man.
Are you the head of the crew, or y'all all just?
Me, Los, and Roy were like the head and niggas that putting the shit together. But we had our people that was making the bread, and they was younger than us, right? So we went to the Crawfish Festival, and these little young niggas spent all their bread, so they pockets got flat. So on our way back from Louisiana, we was like, man, we need to make some money, man. So I had to had that move out there. I hadn't really did a lot of research on it. When you doing that shit, you really gotta, do your.
When you doing that, what are you kind of just scoping out and just seeing what's the traffic like, who coming in there, what when they might be doing certain shit or what?
When they move, because it's a routine. What time they move, who they moving with, what they getting in, and where they gotta go to. All that is in that
Damn.
plan. When they get to where they going, how long they gonna be there? Can you get them now, or can you get them on the parking lot? Whatever. All that is what you thinking about. So, only thing I had did was just I knew the place. I knew they had jewelry in that motherfucker. I knew the pieces that they had in there, and we had a fence. So whatever we get, we gonna sell it. So that's a 2-process thing. When you get that jewelry, you gonna get it, but you still gotta get rid of it. So that day, we got everything together. I went and got a car, and the crazy part is, when I was getting the car, I'm in this man, woman, I don't know who it was, car, and a nigga with his daughter was walking up. I'm like, damn, I'm in this nigga car. But he got in the car right next to me. I'm like, God damn, I crunked that motherfucker up, took out. Boom. So that was one of the red flags for me. Like, damn, we should have just left that shit alone. I tell myself this all the time. The other thing was, so we all left, and one of the guys that was with us, we had did something, me and him had did something before, and he got scared. So on this particular thing, his only job was to open the door, because at a jewelry store they had the doors locked. So he had tape on his hands to cover his fingerprints, dressed pretty casual, and he got out the car, opened the door, and we went in. Boom. When we went in,
So okay, take me through it. He walks in and then y'all come in behind him.
he go open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they buzz the door, he just open the door. Boom. I'm the first one in the door. Make him lay down, right? So I'm gonna tell you the story the way that the real shit. I'm gonna make you relax. Don't think I'm not, but I'm serious right now. We
You
got
need to follow these instructions. I ain't gonna hurt you, but you need to follow these instructions right now. Though. Yeah.
Exactly. The crazy thing is, it was a nigga in there. It was lunch break when we got him. It was lunch break, so they was in the back. Well, I made him feel discomfortable. Nigga kept eating this motherfucking lunch. He was eating a burger, sitting on the ground, Indian style. Just it calmed this lady down because it was a lady in that at work and she was just crying and hysterical. Calm this motherfucker down. So, but what be, I think, getting everybody in there excited is hearing the glass breaking because you got to break the glass. Boom, boom, boom. So when they hearing that shit, it's like,
am I gonna be next? Oh my god!
yeah,
Now y'all
yeah,
touching
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
yeah. So go to school, kids. Don't
Yeah.
do none of this shit I'm talking about. All this shit is really just chances that I was taking.
Yeah, we not
I'm not glamorizing.
we're not
this shit.
glamorizing or promoting none of this shit. This is just history. You know what I'm saying?
So they still eating lunch. You know, we get them.
How long is this taking? They just time.
It's like maybe like
Because they say
three-
bank robbers
three,
is
4
like
minutes.
three minutes.
Yeah, like it's quick. So the what made us leave quicker though is because there was a car parked next to us. When we got out, it was a lady that left her car running and went into the store next door to the jewelry store. So when she seen all this shit, she came out, jumped in her car, and my boy that was at the door, hey man, this broad just jumped in her car. She looked like she seen us. So we left up out of there.
Did y'all get anything?
Yeah. R.I.P. Boo. But he jumped in the driver's seat and it's lunchtime, so it's traffic and he put all the attention on us. But we switched cars, and as we switched cars, but because the attention was already on us when we switched cars.
You say he put the attention on you. What you mean? What's he doing?
When you driving,
Yeah, you trying to get the fuck out the way. Yeah.
you driving crazy, motherfuckers gonna pay attention to you. You know what I'm saying? You can get away, but he
Not
just
unscathed,
he
though.
just this wasn't his thing. And a record truck driver seen us and got behind us when we was in a good car. And I call it the good car because this is the car that, you know, don't nobody supposed to know we in. And we went, jumped on the Hardy Toll Road, and as we jumped on the Hardy Toll Road, I can see the police going back towards where we just left from. I'm like, okay, what the shit they
Gonna
going,
take 1 minute before they get back.
yeah, they going back to where we good. You know, I'm making everybody, because these boys in the back, they going in the jury sack, man, trying to figure out what they want to wear, right? So I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. The motherfucking law's going back to the spot. We good. Chill out. And we on the Hardy Toll Road. And when we get down there to where you pay, they had a pay toll on the pay booth on there. And I could see in the rearview mirror, I'm like, damn, man, these motherfuckers coming. I'm talking about he coming too. And my boy Roy, he was like, man, they got us. I say, no, they ain't got us. You better punch this motherfucker, right? So we paid it, but the law was right here. We paid it, and he took off. When we took off, I don't know if you seen the car that we was in.
Yeah, the blue joint. Yeah.
Man, that motherfucker couldn't. The police car was right on our bumper the whole entire time. So I'm trying to think ahead. I'm like, okay, well, we out here. I used to get my cars painted out there off the Hardy Toll Road. This essay out there. So I was like, get off right here, and I'm gonna go to. I can't even remember that boy's name. I'm gonna go to his house with the jury because I don't want to get caught with all this jury. If they, they chase y'all, whatever. I'm gonna get out though. Get off the freeway. Get off the beltway. So when we exit, we go up. Red light, you can see it. It's like up on a hill, and they had it blocked out. They had already had the shit blocked out. So we dipped off into the yard. This big ass. Well, you seen the car. We dipped off into this big ass yard, but it's acres. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time, police car like right on our ass. And when we tried to make this little turn, he hit us. Boom, spin the car around. So when he spun the car around, the car died. When we get out the car, I'm telling everybody to leave the guns in the car, right? We get out the car, I got a bag, everybody running. But I'm just thinking, in my mind, we just trying to get away from these laws. So I'm running, and I hear the gunshot, boom, boom, right off the bat, boom, 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 boom. But I'm thinking they shooting in the air until I heard my boy Sam say, All right, I'm hit. And I'm like, damn. So I'm running, Troy behind me, and all I hear is bullets flying by. I'm like, these motherfuckers trying to shoot us, bro. And we jumped the fence, jumped another fence behind these people's house, and my legs give out. I fall down. I get back up, and my boy Troy was like, man, what we gonna do? I say, man, let's go in this garage. So we go in the garage. We standing in that motherfucker. I'm trying to think, like, what the fuck we gonna do? And as we back there, a man came to his back door. He was like, hey, man, what y'all doing back there? And I was like, man, I kind of kneeled over. I'm like, I said, they after me, man, they after me. And I got close to him. I put my arms out. And I'm pushing him in his back door. And as I'm pushing him in the back door, his wife on the couch, and she was on the phone with the police because they hear all this shit. She was like, he's in the house right now. I'm like, damn. I pushed him, ran out the house, ran across the street. But as I run across the street, I looked down the street. The police seen us. They turned around. They came. They started coming back where we were. When we ran into the woods, I'm talking about it was no trails or none of that shit. I'm talking about we running, busting through the motherfucking branches and shit. So me and Troy get split up. I find me a little area where like a horse barn was, and I rest. I'm sitting there, I got this goddamn bag of jury, man. I got to find somewhere to stash this shit. So I see this little tree, for a marking point. I see this tree. I know it's by this horse barn. I plant my shit right there. Then I burn off. Go to another area because I know these horses keep walking over. They gonna draw the attention to me. So I found the little spot. It was a gate around this goddamn. I thought it was a dog house, but they said it's a chicken coop. But I seen this gate, so in my mind I can't open the gate because I want it to look like ain't nobody been in this motherfucker. So I get in that motherfucker. I jump over that bitch and get inside the motherfucking dog house, chicken coop, whatever the fuck they want to call it. But it's like a big ass door, and I'm just in that motherfucker. I'm like, nah, they gonna see me in here. So I get out that motherfucker and lay down on the side of that motherfucker, and it was probably like this high off the ground, right? But I couldn't squeeze under there, so I started digging, and I got my body up under there, and all that dirt, I pushed it back. So the crack was like, I could see out that motherfucker, right? I'm up under this motherfucker, it's probably like this wide. And I'm up under there, so I could see out the crack. And I had me a cell phone. This was way back then. I had me a cell phone. So time go on, I make a call to my girlfriend at the time, and they telling me it's on the news. They shot Sam, and they looking for you. And
You telling them where you at and where the shit might be hid, so just in case?
Nah, I ain't telling them none of that shit. I just told them to come out there in that area. Yeah, I told them where we at in that area, but I ain't telling them about the jury. I ain't telling them about none of that shit. Just y'all come out here. So next time I make a call, they came out there, but they had all the shit blocked off. And I'm like, damn. So they barricading everything. Call again. They done called Troy, and he bleeding out the head. So they saying that I'm armed and dangerous. But let me back up. The police report from the start was that we were shooting at them. Yeah. So every police that was looking for us thinking that we started this shit with the gunshots, but they was protecting themselves because they shot my boy from there. Like, they didn't even say freeze, get on the ground. They didn't say none of that shit. Motherfuckers just got out the car, started shooting. Shot my boy twice. But so I'm out there. I'm under this house, and time going on. I could see them evacuating the neighborhood that I'm behind. I see all the cars leaving, all that shit. So I see them when they walking out there looking for me. They looking, I can see all this shit. This is like hours. I think that shit happened at like 12 o'clock, and they caught me at like 7, 8 o'clock that night. Yeah, I was out there all day. So I passed out under that motherfucking house, man. And when I woke back up, I could see it had been raining. So I called my gal again, and she was like, "They calling out the search." I was like, "All right, y'all just come back out here, and I'm gonna leave from where I'm at, and I'm gonna call you and let you know where I'm at." So I hung up the phone, and like as soon as I hung the phone up, man, I can hear the police saying, "Where you at, boy? Where you at?" I'm like, "God damn, they got the dog, right?" So the dog came right to me, came in the gate, came in the dog house, walking on the top of that on the inside. I'm under that motherfucker. So he came out the house, came on the side, and I'm like close to the the little part where he gonna put his head through, right? And the nigga grabbed my leg. I'm like, damn, so I moved over. But the police thinking that this not me. They thinking it's a rabbit or something. Cause I hear him talking, man. The fuck is this dog after under this house, man? Let's push this house on. I think it's a rabbit. Let's just see. And they pushing it, and I'm pulling that motherfucker back down. They pushing it, I'm pulling it back down, and they just pushed it over, right? So the part that you see in that clip, though, when they bring me up out of there, that the news camera saved me, man. Cause when they pushed that motherfucking house from off of me, they whooped the shit out of me. They whooped the shit out of me. And I'm on the ground. When I seen the light, and they seen the light, they picked me up and handcuffed me. So, they take me to the car, and when I'm sitting in the car, it was an HPD officer, white guy, and a black sheriff standing behind him. And the white guy was like, "Did the dog bite you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Where?" And I showed him. I said, "On my leg." He was like, "I don't see no blood." So he pulled out a motherfucking blade out of his pocket.
Come on,
He
man.
was like, "I want to see some motherfucking blood." So he leaning into the door of the car, and I'm in the back seat. I'm like, "Man, you ain't got to do me like that." He was like, "I want to see some fucking blood." So I'm looking at this black guy.
You finna let this shit go on?
Yeah, I'm looking at him like, "Man, help me," So what he did was move the white guy out the way, pushed him out the way, and he hit me. Boom, and closed the door. Boom, closed the door on me. At the time, I'm mad at this motherfucker because he hit me hard than a motherfucker. But he saved me. You know what I'm saying? That was his only way of, saving me, really. So, that was the story on that. We all went to the penitentiary.
How much time they gave you?
I got 10. My other boy Boo, he got 10. Troy got 10. Roy got 13. And Sam got 18.
Okay, why did they get 13 and 18?
Because when we all made bond, we went back to doing it. Went back to hustling. And they got caught again. So they got another.
Oh, why y'all on bond? Oh, damn. Okay.
While we was on bond. We finna go to the penitentiary, so let's get some money.
Go out with a bang, yeah.
Yeah, let's get some money. Because I made bond. And the crazy part is I had a lawyer that got me a bond. Everybody that had any prior convictions on our case got a no bond. And them folks gave me a bond, and I was surprised, and I was happy for $20,000 bond for aggravated robbery that was on the news and shit, So I helped my people out, They needed some lawyers, they needed a bond. That's what that was for.
So on the 10, how many you ended up doing? How much?
7.
You
I
did
did
7
7.
on 10?
Yeah.
Fed?
No, it wasn't fed. State.
State?
Yeah.
No shit. Okay, so you get out after doing the 7, and you still just. When you go in there, what is your mindset? Are you on some like, man, I just need to do this shit better, or I might want to do something different? Like
I want to do something different was my mind state when I was coming home. When I was in that, when I first got in there, I was doing time hard, getting in trouble, fighting, all that shit. And I had a Creole cat, older cat. You like, man, you need to slow your ass down, man. But that kind of made me square up a little bit. Start going to church when I was in there, and that's kind of like nobody really know that. That's kind of like what my love for involving myself in the music started, because I got in the choir. from a cat, talking to me out of Houston West. He started talking to me, trying to get me. I'm in that motherfucker just wilding up in the penitentiary, man. I'm a Crip, so a lot of the decisions and shit down there, I was involved with that shit, and my boy West he put me to the side like, bro, you need to change yourself, man, because you're a good dude. You need to just start going to church. Have you ever thought about going to church? I'm like, man, I grew up in church, so he got me going to church. Got me in the choir. I'm not no singer. Got me in the choir, but that opened the door for me to be the choir director over, I think it was like 14, it was like 6 instruments and like 10, I think, people in the choir. But yeah, that being over that situation and like getting acknowledged as, helping that situation, that made me start loving the music game in there. I got out and got the opportunity to start messing with Zero, and I got involved with this music shit.
But talk about how does the Rap Lot connection come? Just Fifth Ward connections?
Yeah, I've been down with the lot, from the streets, but I never worked or nothing. But we always support. We always, whatever the events was in the city, we was gonna be there. We deep, Fifth Ward, and so that's, the love for Rap a Lot was way before I started working with them. But I had the opportunity to work for the label for a few years. Yeah.
So you come on work with Zero, and this is just doing road management. You know what I'm saying? And then you like, man, I kind of like this thing.
I kind of like this shit. Got a lot of game from Red, and just soaking up a lot of knowledge. One thing I can say is I've never dropped a ball on no money. Every dollar that we were supposed to get, we got from anybody I ever messed with. That's kind of like my thing. If I come home and we got the bread, the job was done right.
For sure. So after Zero, then how do you start connecting with Bun? Is that around the same time too?
No, Bun was doing, he was putting a lot of them verses on them features on these different people songs and shit. So he was repping the Free Pimp C thing, and I think him and Jay, they got together on a solo project, and we met at the studio, and that's when that came about. I was talking to Bun about this the other day. The night that we met, he recorded that Bun song. You know what I'm talking
about?
Yeah.
Bun.
Yeah. That was the first night we met on the business side. Yeah.
And when y'all met, it was just introduction, or it was like, hey, we might be working together.
Introduction. Yep. I had the whole, dynamic of what I was gonna be doing, and that was 20 years ago.
Man. Talk about, because I mean, shit. How has? Because I would imagine at this point that moving around with Bun is a different type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a huge. We talking about caliber artist, bro. Like he's up there. You know what I'm saying, on that totem pole, bro. Like, what are some of the things you were seeing to keep you in the music and not want to go back to that other life? Because I mean, it ain't always easy to come over. You know what I'm saying? And like stick with that shit. Just because you're doing it don't mean that's what you're gonna stick with.
Right. I got introduced to the rap game, to the music industry and all that with Zero. And that was when Zero was wild. But it made me be better, to be able to deal with certain shit. Be able to deal with all the negative and the bad and all that shit and fix it and make it right, So that's kind of like how I got, the introduction to doing this music shit, doing the management. And then with Bun, it was like cakewalk, because he's so professional, he's so precise, all the things that I have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about it. You know, he gonna be there. I don't give a damn what's going on. Bun gonna be at the show. He gonna be on time or before time and all that. You know, so all the shit that I was dealing with at first, which I respect, bro, 100%. You know, he a real talented motherfucker. You know, king of the goddamn ghetto, all that. The nigga, he's a cold motherfucker, man. And he helped me a whole lot to really, you know, be prepared for this music shit. But I, you know, working with Bun has just been a blessing. Young nigga from Fifth Ward. I used to listen to him and Pimp. I used to hustle to him and Pimp. And now I'm working with him. And I work with both of them. I work with Bun and Pimp.
You work with Pimp? What you doing with Pimp? Same management type thing?
Same management type thing. And the crazy part was, he called me to his room one night after a show. So we had 2 shows. We was on a little tour. And I think Mike Mo was his road manager at the time, right? So the promoter gave Mike the bread for both of them, right? And he counted it out and gave Pimp more than Bun had. So I'm like, you miscounted, bro. I already gave him the money, man. I'm like, well, you got to go talk to him and get the rest of the money for Bun. So this was before the show, and I got to get this right, though. You know what I'm saying? So before the show, I stopped Pimp. I was like, you know, it was a miscount on the bread. He was like, all right, we're going to fix it. They did the show. The show was amazing. You know, they did the UGK thing. Them niggas, the chemistry on stage between them boys, it was memorable. No bullshit. Yin and yang, you know? It's no, like, they're so different, but it's together.
But it works together.
Equal, man. Yeah. So, after the show, I still don't have this bread. You know, Pimp called me, he was like, come in my room. I go to the room, Mike in there. So, Pimp's like, man, you know, we need to get this shit back. We need to get this shit tight, man. And Bone, I like the way you handle your business. I just want you to, you know, me and Bun, I want you to be in control of this whole thing. Like, what you mean? Like, I want you to, you know, control this whole road thing. I'd rather for you take care of it so we won't have no mistakes like this, and gave me the bread, right? It was a cold thing for me to hear, you know, at the moment.
But you said Mike Mo's right there, though.
Mike Mo right there looking crazy. That's my boy, though, you know. But you can't fumble the ball like that, man. You can't do that on the road. The money, every detail got to be on point. There's no way you supposed to, you know, make that type of mistake. So I understood why he did it, you know. But, you know, everything got right. We never dropped the ball on no bread, you know. We had listen, both of them 2 teams, the Pimp team and the Bun team, we worked very good together. I can say that.
Yeah.
We worked very good together.
Do you have any memories where you say, man, I'll never forget Pimp did this shit, man?
I got a lot of them. I remember when we was in Mississippi and Stokes booked a UGK show. Bun, we flew in. We was there. We were there all day. Pimp I think he was in Atlanta, and he missed a couple of flights. The last flight, he missed that one. So it was like, what the fuck he gonna do now? So he said he was gonna get a rental car and he was gonna drive from Atlanta to Mississippi, Jackson. We thought he was bullshit, right? Man, this man drove to motherfucking Jackson, Mississippi, and as we was outside the hotel, cause it's like, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I think the club closed at 2. It was like 1:30 or something. And Pimp pulled up into the parking lot, leaning, and pulled up slow, and was like, "Y'all ready?" Nigga, we sweating. We in straight panic mode. And this man pulled up so smooth and said, "Y'all ready?" Now that was a memorable moment for all of us. we all talk about this same thing when he did that. But Pimp made the moments, man. You know,
Was
made
it
it.
always a thing? Because you said Bun, he's very punctual and this and that. Was Pimp always kind of one like, man, shit, we just waiting on Pimp?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not in no bad way,
Yeah.
but that's
That was his
that's
thing,
him.
though. Yeah, yeah.
And you just got to be prepared for that type of shit, you know. But man, Pimp was a memorable moment making motherfucker. Yeah, for sure. I got a few stories.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You got something? Go ahead.
So the two shows that I was telling you we was going back to back was with this one promoter, and the second show was Pimp was late, and when Pimp pulled up, he jumped out the car and just started, going off. Man, nigga, worrying about what the time I'm coming. You can't let a Pimp get ready, and he just started putting on that Pimp act, man. Everybody just out there looking, just looking. And after he finished with what he walked right by me. I gotta take it. I gotta put on the show. Something he said to me, but it was like he could turn that shit off and on. He could turn that shit off and on. I'm gonna give you a little show right quick. I'm gonna entertain you niggas right quick. Now let me go in here and go to work. And he was so professional about that shit. That was just his personality, man. With when we were around, it's gonna be some type of moment. Yeah.
Man, talk about Chucky Trill, man. How y'all end up, connecting, making that connection?
A few people was telling me that I need to check Chucky out. He need a manager. You need to manage him. And at the time, I had a few other people that I was managing, and I wasn't really thinking about getting, responsible for somebody else at the time. So the artist that I was managing wanted a feature from Chucky, and we go to the studio, and Chucky gave him a verse and a hook, right? And both of them was fire. I'm like, God damn, this little motherfucker jamming. So my artist that I had, like, man, you need to manage him. I'm like, man, I might have to sit down and talk to him. So me and him, we talked, and I took on that, responsibility with him. And what I saw was like it was so much. This boy got so much love and attention in a short period of time. We would be out, and like the Hispanic community loved him. We would be out somewhere, and they'd just be Chucky Trill. Like he done made it, right? And I used to see that back in the day. When people had them little one single songs, and you start getting that shine before you really get popping. Like he reminded me of like that old school artist, like just natural. They love this little dude. He just had a stardom about himself, and he carried it well. He took care of his business. He was a bad motherfucker in the booth, and I just hate that shit happened to him. I really do. I hate that shit happened to him because he was at that point where that next album was gonna be the one that was gonna help him, catapult his career.
He definitely had the talent, bro. Like Chucky
yeah.
had that talent, bro. He had it.
Yeah, he could sing, he could rap, he can.
He know how to make songs.
He know how to make songs. He know how to put that shit together, man. And I used to sit in the studio and didn't have to say shit. Like he would put that shit together on the production side, from the booth. Yeah, he was a cold musician, singer, a rapper, putting the music together. He was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. Did everything came out with the first 48 episode and all that? Did you know some of the things he had going on at the time and ever holler at him and be like, hey, bro, we got other shit going on?
Man, I remember all that shit very clearly. When this shit happened, when he told me about it, we sit down at the studio, me, him, and his uncle, and he told me the story. I looked at him in his face. And I said, you know I got a lot of love for you, man, but I don't believe you.
Hmm.
Because he told me the story, what he wanted to put out there. And I was like, I don't believe that. So if I don't believe you, you think this nigga believe you? And not even if he don't believe you, or if he believe you. What
Wait, so he
about his
told you what
pop?
really happened and then told you the way he
Nah,
wanted to portray it, or he's just
nah,
not
he
he's
told,
not keeping it straight with you
he
when he
told
telling
me,
you?
Bone, I'm telling you, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
How,
All
okay, but
that.
wait, how does this even come up though? You ain't got word that he might have been caught up in
No,
shit.
no, no. This was after. This was supposed to be like, man, somebody robbed us,
Hmm.
right? Somebody robbed us. They kidnapped me, man, right? And when he told the story, let me show you something. So if somebody robbed you, they gonna take all your shit. You know, he still had his ear on when they found him. They supposed to have kidnapped him, right? I'm gonna tell the story because this was my partner. The man gone. The word, whatever y'all heard in the streets, I'm gonna tell the straight truth. You know, he made a move, and the move came back and bit him in his ass, and I hate that shit. He told me that somebody robbed him, right? He ain't had nothing to do with it. You know, this is right. This was when COVID just started, but the streets had crunk back up. Like niggas getting money in the streets, and he wasn't no hustler like that. Like he was in a lane that he wasn't supposed to be in. You know what I'm saying? And he got caught up. He got caught up. He made the wrong move.
When you called him out on it, did he never folded and say no, that ain't? He stuck to
Nah,
it.
he stuck to it. He stuck to it. But yeah, I mean, I look, man, I'm a nigga from the streets, and what I do is evaluate people. With the job that I do, when we going out of town, I gotta know who the fuck I'm going out of town to go do some business with. I don't know this nigga, but he say he got 20,000. He done sent the deposit. He answering the phone all the time. He taking care of the business on the flights. He taking care of everything he's supposed to take care of. I kind of trust this nigga. When we land, boom, he answering the phone. Okay, he gave me the back end. We good. That's good business. But once you start doing little
Getting
bullshit,
sketchy and shit. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so just hearing his story, thinking about it, nah. So, you know, he was supposed to be paying the nigga back some of the bread to keep the shit, you know,
Keep it cool. Yeah.
as cool as possible. And then he just stopped. Stopped. He was like, man, I can't see myself paying no nigga for no shit like that I ain't had nothing to do with. Right? I was like, man, well, you better muscle up. You know what I'm saying? You better be ready. Cause nigga ain't gonna play about that type of shit, man. Niggas getting killed over $1,000 now. You know what I'm saying? It's the motherfucking pandemic. So, you know, what made me stop letting Chucky do any shows was he had a show one night. I can't remember what side of town it was on. But the whole time I had my pistol in my pocket. It was cold. And I had my hand on my pistol the whole night. When he pulled up, you know, he was deep, all that. Nigga don't give a damn about none of that shit. If you want your man, you gonna get your man. So when he pulled up, he do the show, after the show, and I'm riding home and I'm like, nah, this ain't worth that, bro.
Mm.
It's not worth that to be
You gotta
out.
move like this. You got out the streets to get away from that
Yeah,
shit. Right, right.
it's not worth that, man. You know, I don't have nothing to do with what you did, but you gonna fuck around and get got at one of these shows. I talked to him just like this. I say, man, we gonna cancel any performances until we get this shit right. The reason why he was in Atlanta that night was because I booked him a show for the All Star weekend. He had a show the next day. He was performing. I didn't know that the nigga lived in Atlanta. Who he got? I thought he was from Chicago. That's what That's what I heard. But I also had heard that he was in the H looking for Chucky, right?
So that's your thinking of shit. I'm gonna get you out of here.
No, I would just, yeah, you gonna do something out of the
Mm.
city, right? But I promise you, if I would have knew that was that man's city where he was living at, I wouldn't have did that. You know, I wouldn't have booked that shit. I wouldn't have did that. But that, and that's kind of like something that weigh on me a lot too, because they never did tell me. They knew that the nigga was living out there. Never did tell me. You know.
Damn. So when you get the car, you already knew, like, man, this is just it done caught up. Did you know exactly that that's what it was, or you didn't
So
really know what might have happened at the time?
he was supposed to be going to the studio that night, and he went out to the club, right? So when he went out to the club instead of the studio, I turned my phone off. I said, I'm finna go to sleep. Woke up the next morning, turned my phone on, and that motherfucker just went to just going off. I'm like, what the fuck going on? I'm sorry. R.I.P. What? And I started seeing all this shit on social media. The news people calling me. Man, that was like the worst shit. That was the worst shit ever for me, because I tried to prevent that. And that shit happened on something that I put him on. You know what I'm saying? So it weighed heavy on me. I told myself I wasn't gonna manage anybody still in the streets doing music, because you can't mix the two. If you doing something in the streets, you get jammed up, or you do some slick shit in the streets, you promoting yourself with this music shit. You gotta let people know I'm gonna be here doing this and I'm over here and blah blah blah. You can't mix the two. I'm telling anybody that's paying attention, any artist, if you want to be a rapper, singer, you gotta leave the streets alone, man. There's no way to mix the two. It's not, cause that shit'll it'll catch up with you.
Yeah, that man, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's the first person I interviewed, and they passed away like right after I interviewed them. And I was like, damn, like,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a trip, bro. Rest in peace, Chucky Trill.
rest in peace, Chucky.
But so what we looking at now? Like you say, you got two Trill show, we got Trill Burgers. Is there anything else for Bone that you have intentions on doing moving forward?
I'm trying to think of something new, man. I got the Bonafide Models thing. Um, I started that a few years ago, just helping out serious models, serious ladies that's really trying to do something with a modeling career, not just a pretty face, but somebody that's trying to start as a model and go somewhere else. I've been managing model B Star as a model for years, and now she's an actress. She's doing movies. She very serious about the acting thing. So it's like a transition for the girls and the ladies. I used to see a lot of them trying to do some shit, with this modeling thing, and wasn't being taken serious. So I've been helping, trying to open these doors for these girls for a long time, and I just got an opportunity to start managing Model B Star, and then that just made me think, well, I might could help some more girls by starting this company. So I started Bonafide Models.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, man, bro. Uh, you asked me how long it was gonna be. I said it ain't gonna be no longer than an hour. We about 59 minutes right now, man. So right on time, bro. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Man,
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
you having me, bro. And I told you off the camera though that you starting something in the city that a lot of OGs respect, and that says a lot. This podcast gives a lot of detail, a lot of information from you know old rappers that's not doing this shit no more, old people that's used to be in the game, engineers. You getting everybody on here, and I respect it. I salute you. You started something really huge, and it's gonna be something that's gonna last forever for H Time, man.
Man, thank you, bro.
For sure.
Thank you. Already. Hey, social media before we get up out of here.
Bonafide, Boneafid.
That's what it is, man. Hey, man. OG Bone, man. Donnie Houston. Donnie Houston Podcast. We up out of here.
Oh, yeah. Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.